does vibrato on the bass work anyway? What's going on? It's Jason Heath, and one of the most frequent topic requests for these videos has been vibrato. And frankly, it's something that I've struggled with in my own teaching and my own playing. I remember trying to figure it out back when I was starting on the bass, and I finally discovered something that worked for me, and I finally discovered something that worked in terms of teaching it. So in this video, we're going to go through the techniques that have worked the best for me and my students. Learning vibrato can be kind of a confusing thing, and this is one of those techniques that I found you work at it a little bit every day and it develops. It's not something that it seems like folks have a lot of success with, that they just go hog wild on it. It's almost like the skill atrophies as you continue to work on it, and you just have to give yourself time to process. So with that in mind, the first thing that I recommend people do is just see, can you do this? Can you make this motion? Yes or no? And about half the time I do that and someone does it right back to me and it's not a problem. And we're like, okay, you're doing vibrato. So this motion, it's kind of a combination of like shaking a soda can and a little bit of turning a doorknob, but not really either one of those things. I like to make sure the bass is secure for this, so I might hold it right here. If you're sitting, it's not gonna be as much of an issue. And I just take all four fingers and I just polish the string. Again, that soda can sort of shaking motion, that's a great way to think about it, so you're not like wobbling your elbow or doing any sort of weird contortion. You're just thinking, what would I do to shake a can of soda? And that's pretty much what happens with vibrato. One of the angles that really can mess with people is this angle right here. If this is not perpendicular, you're going to have some weird problems. And frequently that is the issue that people struggle with starting on vibrato, is their arm is just not perpendicular to the neck. So just parking in front of a mirror and doing that is super useful. Couple things that you can do to develop this skill if this is weird: just take all four fingers and put them on the side of the bass and just move the arm like that. Take your fingers and put them on the fingerboard, not even on the strings, and just go up and down like that. And I usually recommend narrowing it down to the first finger. That's a good one to start with. And just, can you do this? Notice, no bow, no nothing. Just, can you do this motion? Most people can. If you can't, no big deal. Just practice and just, again, in the air, soda can, shake, shake, shake. Maybe do that. And that's it for a day or a few days or a week. And then go to the side of the bass. Can you do this? Can you rub the side of the bass? The answer is almost certainly yes to all of these. And do that on the side, and then put the fingers there. And again, stabilize the bass and put the fingers on the string. Put that first finger on the string. Great. Then, what I recommend, and this might seem weird, it is hilarious to look at, so you just want to, keep that in mind, but do that and just see, can you move your right arm? And what happens for people is they start to move this arm and the left arm starts to move kind of in a similar way. It's just because we tend to mirror ourselves as humans in so many activities. So trying to get that separation is key for vibrato. So you can do exercises like just raise your arm up, bring your arm down, bring your arm to this side, bring your arm to this side, and just do that. First finger is great. I usually recommend starting at the neck block here, but wherever you can do it, that's great. So sometimes people will get a really natural motion right here, like over the note C, and it might be a little bit weird here. Or wherever you can get that relaxed motion going, start there, and we can transfer from there. So, few other things that I like to have folks do. Take the first finger, put it over the note D, but play the harmonic. Don't push the string down to the fingerboard yet. Play the harmonic and see if you can do this vibrato motion. We're not really getting vibrato at this point because we're on a harmonic. It might get a little wavering sound, but can you get this so that the bowing doesn't affect the vibrato? What will happen for a lot of people is this. They'll like pulsate when the right arm changes bow directions. You might want to just practice down bow and just watch that left hand and make sure that doesn't get affected. Then maybe twice. You can see I did affect it that time a little bit. I apparently can't talk and vibrate at the same time. Then at a certain point, and again, maybe do that for a few days, a week, whatever. Couple minutes a day maximum, and then take that, put that down. And what I'm going for is a vibrato that's even, so that there's not but your vibrato speed may vary, and that is totally normal. Everybody seems to kind of have a default vibrato speed that works for them. Might be a little faster than mine, might be a little slower. Whatever it is it regular? Can you get it regular? And I love starting with that first finger, going back to the harmonic. And once I get that first finger vibrato going, I like to take that same note, that D. Let's move over to the second finger. Get that same feeling. And what I'm thinking about is second finger is where the energy is going in on the string. First finger is just kind of chilling on the string behind it. I'm not really pushing it down. It's down, but I can lift it, and it's even kind of like wobbling around on the string a little bit. So first finger, second finger, then after a week, whatever you're until you can do that and have it be automatic and you're not getting some sort of pulsing that when the bow changes, it's just nice and even. Then I like to play around with fourth finger. And this is the one that can be the most challenging for people because the fourth finger tends to be the furthest away from the thumb on the back of the neck. So what I recommend, and what seems to have worked well for most people, is find that note. We're doing D. You could do whatever, but I'm just doing D right here. Put third and fourth finger down and think of them as a unifinger. And then second and first finger are like on the string, but very loose, and you can even see them wobbling around. This will probably have the least amount of wah 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 oscillation to you and may feel the funkiest. So again, if you can get one finger going, you will be able to transfer the learning to all the other fingers. And I tend to find that first finger, second finger, and fourth, or really third, fourth, is a sequence that works best for people. After that, you're off to the races. Now it's just the matter of can you apply this new skill to the music you're working on. And that is much easier said than done. And you watch a professional play with vibrato, you think, how the heck do they do that? Well, it's just practice and it's just making it automatic. And a great thing to do is just start on scales. So we could take something like a C major scale. It's kind of nice because it has some open strings, so you can take a break from the vibrato. And I would just say take as many bows as you want until you think, yeah, I like that sound. Then we go to, I'm going to play open D. I could close all the notes, but I find that's a little bit fatiguing for most people. First finger. You get tired, take a break, go get a drink of water, whatever. And that might be the thing to work on for a month, just taking that scale. I wouldn't worry too much about trying to directly apply this new vibrato skill to every bit of music all at once. It is something that will come with time, but if you don't practice it, you're not going to develop it. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. For me, the key is just finding one of these mini exercises that you can do. You will be able to do one of these, and starting with that and building the skill from there. It is not rocket science, but it can be confusing at first. And getting that body separation, getting this to not be affected by this is key. That's where I start with, folks. There is much more to talk about with vibrato, thumb position vibrato, different speeds of vibrato, different tone qualities of vibrato. If you want to hear more about that, let me know in the comments. That's a look at vibrato on the bass. If you want to learn more about bass technique, check out this video we've got linked up. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.